Throughout NBA history, there have always been extremely good and extremely bad teams. We have seen some historically great dynasties across the years. We have seen teams win multiple back-to-back championships, and even with the Michael Jordan-led Chicago Bulls, 3 straight championships twice in their history. Today, however, we are not looking at those high points in NBA history. Instead, I'm beginning a new series on my channel where we look through and look over the worst teams in NBA history, from how they got there to how they left, if they ever have. Today, we begin that series with arguably the worst team in NBA history, and we have to look in no other than one of the worst organizations overall in NBA history, the Charlotte Bobcats. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Let's jump right into it. No matter what the mascot was for the organization in Charlotte, they've never been above a fringe playoff team, and their lows greatly outweigh their highs. For starters, across 33 years as a franchise, the Hornets have never even made it to the Eastern Conference Finals, either as the Hornets or the Bobcats. And furthermore, they've only made it to the second round 4 times across their 10 playoff appearances total. With all this in mind, it comes as no surprise that this organization has had its fair share of low seasons. But today we want to talk about one of the lowest points in this moment, or in this organization's history, the 2011-2012 season. After a fairly decent 2009 year where the Bobcats finished 44-38 and lost in the first round of the playoffs, they came back in 2010/2011 looking to produce that success at the same level or higher, and possibly even win a playoff series. However, after just a 9-19 start, a puzzling move was made by the Bobcats front office as they fired legendary head coach Larry Brown and brought in relatively unsuccessful replacement Paul Silas. Silas had previously spent time as an assistant coach and a few years as a head coach of the Hornets before they changed their name in the late 90s. This was a questioning move because Larry Brown was known as the championship head coach who brought up the unknown Detroit Pistons into a championship appearance, and they took down the juggernaut Lakers, who were on their 3rd straight win just 2 years before that. However, this change completely did nothing for the team, as the trajectory of the team did not change at all. They continued to scrape towards the finish line in 2010 with just a 34-48 record, completely missing the playoffs, and instead of being a contender, they solidified themselves as a lottery pick that season. In turn, they were able to select star UConn point guard Kemba Walker. Walker was coming off of one of, if not the greatest tournament experience and output. He had dominated the tournament. He was able to get any bucket it seemed he wanted and had multiple clutch shots. He was expected to come in and electrify a stagnant offense. Furthermore, though, they brought in NBA veteran, former lottery pick, and solid offensive contributor Corey Maggette as a new presence on the team. On draft day, they also obtained top 10 pick Bismack Biyombo to pair with Walker and their new free agency signing. So while they weren't a premier free agency destination and they didn't make any massive moves, it didn't seem like the team got all that worse. So going into the next season, not everything looked terrible. They brought in young talent and with massive potential, and a few veteran players who could at the very least be a presence for those players to look up to. However, this would quickly change for the worst, as after winning on opening night by 1 point to a dominant fashion, the Bobcats would lose 4 straight, win 1 more, and then lose another 6 straight. This pattern continued for a while as the Bobcats would win their 7th and final win of the season on March 17th before losing 23 straight, a record at the time that seemed unbreakable. Furthermore, though, the suffering of the fans and players alike was only cut short due to the NBA lockout that season, which prevented them from playing a total of 82 games and gave the Bobcats a chance to end their season much earlier than it would have, possibly preventing the largest streak of all time from growing larger. They quickly became the laughingstock of the league, and outside of a bright young star in Kemba Walker, they had very little going for them as far as young prospects, and they didn't help their case in the future. Going forward, they did have 2 more future playoff appearances, as I mentioned before, in 2013 and 2015, respectively. Both were against the Miami Heat, and both resulting in a loss from bad picks such as Michael Kidd-Gilchrist and Cody Zeller or Frank Kaminsky, and terrible signings such as Dwight Howard, Lance Stevenson, and Nicholas Batum. The Bobcats/Hornets may not be nearly as bad as they were in 2011, but that 7-59 record has never turned into any type of success, despite giving them a top draft pick. They haven't made the playoffs since 2015, and despite getting their hands on another promising young point guard in LaMelo Ball after wasting the prime of Kemba Walker's career, they have made very little moves towards contending now or in the future. With the news of Miles Bridges likely spending at least a season in jail or out of the league, and an aging Gordon Hayward as their third star, the Hornets are not likely to make a deep run anytime soon without extreme luck or extreme injuries to other teams. Only seeing 2 winning seasons from 2011 to 2020, the Charlotte organization has been bad for a long time, and the 7-59 season was just an even lower valley in a deep canyon of complacency and mediocrity. And that's the story of one of the worst teams in NBA history, and someone who lives relatively close to Charlotte as far as NBA teams go, they're the closest one to me personally. I always root for them to succeed to some degree, as LaMelo Ball is somebody that I followed closely since he entered the league, and it feels like his career will be wasted away just like Kemba Walker was unless he leaves Charlotte. As always, though, the worst is never always the only one. So join me next time as we discuss the 1992-93 Dallas Mavericks, surprisingly a team that expected and tried to compete while being terrible at the same time. Thank you all for watching this one. If you did enjoy, hit the like button, subscribe, and turn post notifications on so you never miss a video. And I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.